Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kitty Box, bitch. Like Mariah said, forever and ever. You alone. Oh, I mixed two songs again. My
Of
bad.
course you did. Always. As always.
Back to the bullshit.
Y'all know me. Ain't nothing changed over here, child.
How
We
you been,
still.
Jace?
But it's good. I've been good. Trying to stay busy. It's hotter than a motherfucker in Texas this year. It seems this is my third summer in Dallas, and it seems like it's been the hottest this summer. So it's like 105 right now, and we're almost 7 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, it's hot as fuck here, and yeah. So I've just been trying to stay in the house as much as I can, but I still got to get out and get to the bag. So, but how about you, YB? What's been going on?
Child, like you, I've been watching these videos of these bitches out here frying eggs on the floor and steak sandwiches, child, toasting bread. It's crazy. It's hot. You know, I'm further south, child. I think we are the only landmass that sits like right under the Tropic of Cancer and the equator. So hot for you, triple those digits and that feeling. It's like you are. If this is what hell feels like, girl, please count me out. I'm trying to get my life right. My soul needs to be saved and purified, bitch, because I don't want no parts of hell. Bitch, no
Right.
God.
But y'all are on the water, so you don't feel any like it's not
I,
cooler in the air, or it don't matter.
child, those sea creatures are soaking up all the good, cool air, honey,
Damn.
and the
Okay.
rich people that live by the beach. Child, I need all that I can get. But no, I've been all right though. Just been working, chilling, trying to bring back content steadily, and child, I've been on a self-searching kind of journey, child. So I'm good though.
Yes, God. I'm all about self-discovery, self-love, self-reflection. Um, if you didn't utilize the pandemic for anything else, you should have utilized it for that. First and
Hmm.
foremost, you had time to sit still and to really rediscover who you were, who you are, and who you want to be, what you want to do. That was the time to do that. So hopefully now that we're coming out of it, everybody has taken that time and has used it wisely. Because if all you thought about was getting outside, you missed the mark. You really missed the mark. But speaking of missing
Period.
the mark, we are not gonna miss it with Beyonce. So if y'all can see by the background, we are here because Beyonce done brought us out hot, and we all had lives, we all had shit to do. But when I heard Beyonce was coming out with an album, I called my two girls and I said, "Listen, clear your schedule, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you gotta do. Clear your schedule because we finna come down Kitty Box and talk about this album. Like the anticipation for this album, I have not seen in a very long time. I was talking to my cousin Danye, and I was just like, this album, this era, I'm not missing nothing. I'm going back to the '90s. I want to buy the CD. I bought the mystery box. I'm going to the concert. I want to be a part of this immersive experience because you don't get this all the time. People,
Mm,
like they said, like she said in Life is But a Dream, I believe, people put out these popcorn singles and nobody really cares about a body of work anymore. I haven't even
mm.
heard this and I'm anticipating. All we've heard is Break My Soul, and we still ain't got no video. And right before we started filming, my cousin just sent me something that says Beyonce just confirmed that the video is coming well after the album. So since y'all want to try to leak shit and y'all want to do this and do that, y'all gonna get the shit when I say you gonna get it.
Right. And I think for
Period.
her next album, because I guess we can kind of well go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
I think since that I mean everyone knows the album leaked yesterday, and I think at this point like she needs to go back to her old. I'll just drop this shit and you motherfuckers get it when I want, when I want y'all to have it. Because that's so fucked up because we've been anticipating it for what about a month and a half now when they announced that she
Mid
was coming back.
June is when she announced.
So
Well,
to do
really,
that, like that's
yeah,
shady as fuck. And
it
it
really
fucks
is.
up someone's hard work. And even not for Beyonce, because Beyonce's gonna get whatever she's gonna get. Everybody's gonna go in for it.
Yeah.
But that happens to a lot of smaller artists as well. And I've heard of people being leaked 2 months before the album was supposed to come out. And it completely fucks up, what's supposed to really happen in the
Yeah.
rollout that they have planned. So I thought that was really shitty. And at that point, I was like, Beyonce, just go back to dropping the shit on a random ass Wednesday night when
Yeah.
the girls asleep and gag the girls. Cause it's too much.
Okay, well, three things. First, speaking of gagging girls, I remember where I was. I was on my way to work. I was working at a law firm, and I logged into my computer, and I was like, I always check. Back then, I was checking like the YBF or those little blog sites, and they was like, Beyonce just dropped an album. I'm like, y'all lying, y'all are fucking lying. And I went to iTunes, and there was a whole album, and I'm like. I remember like I have to go. Like I have to go home. Fuck work. Like I gotta go home. Like Beyonce just put out an album. But this leak was a bit different. It wasn't really digital. France was putting the actual album out in stores like Wednesday. And I'm just like, what's going on? So that's people had to, it wasn't people leaking it digitally. People physically had the album. They were buying it, had the receipts and everything. And it is what it is. But what I was telling my cousin Danye is like you said, she's Beyonce. So she's really not going to be affected by this. The album is still going to sell. The songs are still going to impact radio, this, that, and the third. But also with the box that I bought, the album came with it, and you was able to pre-order the album. So who's to say, even though the album leaked, it's probably already platinum. She probably has already sold what she needs to sell just by pre-orders alone. But that doesn't mean that it's fair to leak her shit though. But I'm just saying it to say I feel like she's safe, and I don't feel like I feel like she's pissed, but it's just like I gave my cousin the analogy. Maybe, hopefully, she's looking at it like when we were kids and we knew our parents bought us something for Christmas, and they tried to lie and say it was Santa Claus, and they put it in their closet, and we just snuck in their closet and saw what it was before it was time. Like, give us a little bit of grace, because it's like, if it's available to us, are we really gonna say no? We don't want it right now. No, we've been anticipating this Beyonce album for 3 years. So
I didn't listen to it because I haven't been really even been on TikTok today.
I didn't either.
I know it was kind of like floating around Twitter and shit like that yesterday.
Yeah,
like,
I know nothing about
and
that.
I heard you could hear the songs and all that on Twitter, and I was like, I don't even want to get on Twitter.
I know nothing about that.
I just want to wait until 11 o'clock Central Time, our time tonight, to hear.
Absolutely nothing. I don't know nothing
Yeah, you a best bitch. No, I hate the fact that people, like you said, if I have like a Lil Nas X or like how Michael Jackson used to do, even Prince and a lot of the other people, even newer age, more people too, all the hard work that goes into planning the rollout, especially when you're not trying to repeat things of the past or you want to be different. And even though you're Beyonce, you want to give a certain type of look and feel when this shit finally hits the public. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a standard. When you hear Beyonce, even though I don't really go in for her too much like that, when you hear Beyonce, you think of professionalism. You think of high standards, girl. You're not thinking of some pish posh applesauce and in somebody's alleyway child. You know what I'm saying? With tumbleweed with no purpose running around by. And 3 people at the door. This is Beyonce. So to disrupt, I don't know much about the story, but from what you guys are saying, to disrupt my rollout, to disrupt something that I probably planned a long time in advance.
It's disrespectful.
Mama has been working on this album for 3 years. 3 years.
You see what I'm saying? And for someone, and most likely someone in the camp, did this. Probably for a little bit of...
it wasn't. Again, this is the normal rollout. When you have physical albums that ship to store, they get it around the Tuesday before that Friday. They get it so they can have it in time to stock it the Thursday before. You knew it was coming out on the 29th. So I don't give a fuck if you're in France, Dubai, Belize, or Greece. It doesn't matter. It doesn't come out until the 29th your time.
Okay, so we're blaming France. So France is responsible for the leakage.
France is responsible. France put the physical copies in the stores. I'm sure somebody got it, uploaded it to the internet, and put it in a Dropbox, and then shipped it around. I'm sure that
does seem feasible. Because if it's just like a store worker, they probably stumbled upon the box in the back, and was like, "Ooh, girl, super fan, maybe." And
then get your copy and keep it moving. Don't stock it on the shelves. That, and like again, having this conversation with my cousin, I was like, it really sucks that every time Beyonce really puts all of herself into something, it gets fucked over. The last time this happened to her was 4. And she acclaims 4 as her greatest album. She really sings on that album. It's R&B. She really goes there. And it leaked. And everybody tried to blame it on the fact that was the first album that she put out since firing her dad. And they was like, see, you need to bring your daddy back because now that you done fired your daddy, your album leaking. But now I'm seeing a trend. Every time Beyonce really puts her heart and soul into something, people inadvertently, even unintentionally, try to sabotage it.
They don't like to let the girls be great. You know, there's
Yeah.
always called us silent haters or like the worst because you never know what they'll do.
Speaking of
So,
silent haters, let's talk about vocal ones. Jake, she brought something to the chat earlier today.
oh, child, that was shade.
Hey, we're not gonna
Was
call
it?
her a hater.
I
Girl,
I didn't know
mean,
where you were going with that, but
well, we've arrived and we're here. So what's up with Miss Kelis?
okay.
ooh,
So I just tapped onto the gram literally right before we got on, and I saw a video because I follow Kelis, and I will go out there and say I'm actually a bigger Kelis fan than Beyonce fan. Beyonce's cool, but I love Kelis since day one. And I follow her on Instagram. And the first thing that popped up on my screen when I got on Instagram was a video of her defending herself. What it came off to me, where people were attacking her for something about a Beyonce album. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So I went to her previous video, which she had posted, and she said that Beyonce had sampled one of her songs from her first album. And she was never notified. She was never contacted. Like, she didn't even know that it was being sampled. However, on the track list that was released for Beyonce's album, it lists, which I didn't even look at it because, like I said, I just wanted to be surprised, like when it came out. I didn't want to look at anything. I didn't want to know anything about it. But apparently, when it leaked yesterday in the track list or whatever, Pharrell and the guy Chad, who's also part of the Neptunes, popped up on the credits as like the writers or whatever for the song, or they were given the credit for the song. So people started tagging Kelis, like her fans and stuff, started saying, "Hey, like I see that you collab with Beyonce," and she's kind of like, "What are you talking about? Like that didn't happen." So she started making her comments saying, "No, I didn't authorize this. Blah 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 blah. I wasn't notified. Basically this shit is happening to me again." Because if you are a Kelis fan, you know that the Pharrell specifically and the Neptunes, as a whole, has pretty much stolen all of her music and all of her rights to her songs, which she writes her own music. And in that video that Kelis posted, she also stated, for people who didn't know, that Pharrell never wrote anything for her. But when she signed her contract, whatever, she didn't read it. She said she was too young. Because I think she was like 18 or 19 when she first came out. Like, she didn't read her contract, pretty typical. And they pretty much got all the publishing and ownership in her shit. So people started attacking Kelis. Like, of course, the Beehive is going to come out. They started attacking her like she's hating on Beyonce. And she's basically in these videos like saying, like, no, I'm not hating on her. I think it's primarily Pharrell who she's upset with. And I know that she said in the past that, she's kind of let it go. Like, she's spoken up about it in the past about her issues with Neptunes and stuff like that. But she's kind of let it go. But because people are attacking her, that's the only reason why she came out to do that video. So, yeah, it's a mess. And I've already seen, like, YouTube videos are popping up, and it's already a hot mess. The album ain't even fucking came out yet.
It makes sense. And I know that she's not lying because it's happened to so many people. I know being a songwriter, split sheets are very important to me because a lot of times, like, hypothetically, if I write a song for, let's say Normani, I write a song for Normani, and she puts it out. I write the entire song. She doesn't change a word. When it's time to get residuals, Mama gets paid for booking. But every time that song is played on the radio, every time that song is used in like TVs and music videos or commercials or movies, me and the producer get paid because we are the publishers of this song. He laid the foundation. I gave you the words. We built the house. She just is the realtor. She has to sell it. A lot of times, what artists will do to get money on the back end is they will demand a percentage of that writing credit, whether they wrote the song or not. So a lot of times when you see people's names listed as a writer, a lot of times they aren't. And they'll do one thing. Like if I say me and you, they'll say you and me. So since they changed it, I'm a part of the writing process now. They do little stuff like that to ensure that they get the writing credit so they can get the residuals on the back end. So that way, if the song is being used like Bossy or like any of these songs that are being used years and years and years and years, you make sure that you're good off that record.
It's the evil capitalism for me. This thing, and it's a lot in our own community. We talked about people that we've heard about before in the past, the Tony Braxtons, the Escape Girls, that whole trash situation with Jermaine Dupri. The list goes on and on and on and on.
BLC.
And it happens to it happens to a lot with women. That lady took her down, honey. Like took them down. I'm sorry. It sucks and it happens. We see a lot more happening to our black women, even the young, like she said, she was young. People take advantage of the young and talented. They know where you're coming from. Girl, we're going to go ahead and have you sign this deal because we want to uplift you out of poverty. And of course, girl, you out here eating ramen noodles and Fruit Loops with no milk, child. And then all of a sudden you realize you can be drinking Dom Perignon, child, and steak. You know what I'm saying? Hello, God. So, of course, you're going to take it because it's uplifting you in that moment. But what you don't realize is that when you look back, all of that money you're missing out on. That's why I loved Prince, and that's why I think they killed him, but that's another conversation. Because he spoke out heavily. He actually would not record music with anyone if they didn't own their own rights. Because he always stated, I don't want these white folks or anybody else getting paid off of the hard work that we as artists put into our stuff.
Yeah. He was big on that. He was huge on owning your own stuff, your mic being on. I remember his face when Trey Songz tried to tribute him at the BET Awards. He was like, "Who authorized this? Like, I want singers. What is this? Like, no." He's huge on that, and I know that his not empire, but his estate was done wrong because he died 2 days, I think, after he accrued all of the rights to his music. He died like literally less than a week after he got the rights, and 2 days after he died, the rights went right back to Warner Brothers. Right back.
Yeah. Hashtag conspiracy.
So I feel her pain. I really do. Lord knows I do. But stop making a big fuss if the business side, you're hurt on a personal level. Pharrell fucked you over. Now you don't have no rights to this song, and now you pissed because your song is being used and you don't know nothing about it. That's personal. Business-wise, Beyonce did what she needed to do. It just wasn't you she needed to talk to. That's not her fault. So don't include her in this. You don't even know how she got the record. Somebody could have brought her the record, and she didn't even know.
You listen. See, I get that, and that's legally, from a legal standpoint, that's she did what she was supposed to do, as far as we know, because we don't know what Beyonce or whatever happened on the back end. But a point that Kelis made in one of her videos was, hey, like Beyonce and I know each other. Like we've been around, we know the same people. Like she said, it's nothing for you to get in contact with me. And she just was saying, like, you're such, about female empowerment and all of this. Like, just as a bitch that like, damn, hey, I'm thinking about using your song for, that's what she kind of felt the courtesy should have came from. That's what I was
saying. Like, and I'm gonna be an
even though she didn't have to do that, she didn't. But I kind of get what she's saying.
She didn't have to do it. And if you look at the trajectory of where things are, when was the last time Beyonce was about female empowerment?
Well, that's her brand. I mean,
not anymore. Now her brand is, I'm gonna rap with my husband and I'm gonna talk about freaky shit and I'm gonna be that bitch. The last time she spoke about empowering women was Who Run the World Girls.
And
That was
she was
on.
only linking up with certain collaborators too,
That was
like
on 4.
Nicki.
But Lemonade
Mhm.
was not about female empowerment. Lemonade was about her cathartic experience of getting through her marriage and being cheated on.
But I
Women
think
didn't
the
relate to it.
overall But I think the overall argument that I think Jace is trying to make, that I'm also on the fence of, you know me, I have to give a balance. Legally, yes, girl, like she handled everything. It is what it is. But from a heart to heart, from a human standpoint, you know,
I
Yeah.
get that.
girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, you know, like that's why I think she was trying to come with it, and I can
I
Yeah,
get
respect that a
that's
little
what she
bit.
was. That's what she was saying. She's like, "Bitch, it's nothing for you to get in contact with me. We know the same people. Like, just run that by her." And then, especially the fact that everybody knows. I'm sure. Well, I mean, y'all may not know, but as far as Kelis and the music industry and that whole Neptune situation, everybody knows how he stole her shit. Everybody knows that.
And even
So
that
just
though,
as
because
a woman and as another female artist, like, and then you're supposed to be this female empowerment type of chick, like, that's what she was saying. Like, damn, you could have at least called me and said this, you know?
But I wonder too, though, if, you know, I'm sure Beyonce has a final look over everything before everything is finalized, right? So I wonder, when you saw the credits and you knew in your mind, first the question is, did she know it was a Khalees, you know, song? And if she did know and she saw that these two men took over and didn't even try to apply credit to where it was due, I wonder, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did that
two
come?
things. I wanted to say that, but Jace was saying that she knows. And I'm not gonna say that she don't know, because if she's been immersed in this music industry since the late 90s, bitch, you know who the fuck Kelis is and you know her fucking
Yeah.
repertoire. You know,
And
plus
and
Chloe always says that her favorite singer is Kelis and that's your artist. So I'm sure you've heard Kelis in passing. That's probably how you got inspired to use the goddamn sample. Whatever. But
and they
again,
said that she's
Well,
actually
girl, she was
copied her
dating
before.
Nas. So
I
I'm
don't
quite
yeah,
know
sure they
but
did double
exactly what,
dates.
but
but
they said
also to
that.
that credit though, like I just said, like I gave my example. If you were gonna use that Normani sample, why the fuck would Normani name be on it? And I wrote the entire song. I just told y'all that.
Right, right.
So I mean, but that might not be the case with Kelis. But if it is, then Kelis should not be credited because she did not write that record. You
No,
used
she
it.
did write it.
I'm saying if that was the case, because
But,
she did write it, she should definitely be on it. I'm not gonna dispute that. She should get her things.
we're in it. I think what the overall masses are doing here is we're trying to put black women against each other, and I don't want to do that. You know why? Because it's taking away from the people we're supposed to be mad at. These two black men. Here we are again. Not us, but I'm saying it's
No,
just
I'm not saying
how
that.
other
But
people are
again,
going
I
to view
think
this.
Kelis adds to that
I
narrative
wasn't
when she
saying
is
us.
like,
I was just saying like the overall perspective. Like
no, I'm not saying
everyone's.
us.
She's saying
I'm
okay.
just saying in general, like Kelis adds to the narrative when Beyonce's responsible too. If we want to talk about Pharrell and this dude, let's do that. But the moment you throw Beyonce in, her fans ain't got no choice but to defend her. I think it was her disposition towards it. Because when the fans approached her about it, Jace, they were just saying, oh my God, a collaboration between Kelis and Beyonce. We're so happy. And she's like, I'm not. So it was her disposition towards what they were saying that was just like, now hold up, bitch. It's
But
Beyonce though.
I'm
I
just
know.
saying. What
Go
throws
ahead.
the wrench in this, what throws the wrench in this, going back to my earlier statement, if Beyonce saw the final product, because we know how she is with her stuff, I
Yeah.
think she saw that final. Once you saw that Khalees was not credited, and you went through with that whole process to finalize everything, now you are to blame in a lot of ways too. To be
If she knew.
especially she married Nas, right? They were married at some point. They're
Yeah.
friends with Jay-Z. I'm sure they double dated and went on luxurious, you know, outings with each other. Girl, call me and let me know that you about to use my shit. Period. I mean,
That was her point. That was her point in the
But did
in the
she
video.
know? Did she know?
Yes,
Maybe.
she knows.
Oh,
Everybody knows that song.
but what I
And
can't.
apparently, and I haven't tapped into it yet because I haven't done the research on it yet. But because we had to hop on here,
Yeah.
um,
what's the name of the song?
and she
The
mentioned in the
original
video that
song.
Beyonce has copied her before, and
I
I've been
heard that.
seeing that in things, and I don't know exactly what, but I'm
What's the
gonna do
name
the
of the
research.
original song? Do you know the name of the original song?
Yeah, it's called
Be with
Get
me.
Along With You. It's called
Oh,
Get
get
Along
along.
With You. It's like a slow song. I just remember the video. She was floating through the I'm not gonna sing it, but she was like floating through the streets. It was kind of it was right after I Hate You So Much Right Now. But it's called Get Along With You.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun. But
Love it.
let's because this whole conversation is about Kelis
It's been
and then
about
we're supposed
Kelis,
to be
and
talking about
it's
B.
really about Beyonce, which I'm
Right.
so excited for. Like, I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for this for the longest, and I do know a little bit of information. I know it's 16 tracks. I know from looking at a piece of her thank yous because you know it's gonna be a booklet. This is one act of three, so we're gonna get three albums, and I know for a fact she still has two projects to fulfill with Netflix. So either it may be a documentary or a concert. Um, I just am so excited about this. But I'm the only thing that's confusing me about Beyonce this go round is the fact that the whole announcing of the
Oh
project and the
wow.
announcing of the album and the announcing of the single and all of this and giving us photos and rolling everything out piece by piece lets me believe that you're doing a typical rollout. Well, a typical rollout is the song is released, it goes to radio, we get the video, we get a second single, and then we get the album. I don't know what possessed her to be like, no video for y'all. Because we've been waiting for a video since the song released.
Right.
And we've got nothing. We've gotten absolutely nothing.
I
We've got no
actually I actually saw something because you know I live on TikTok now,
yeah.
but I saw like people releasing a video of Big Frida. Like
He was like dancing in front of like a popsicle truck.
yeah, and they kind of took that as him recording his portion, I guess, for the song.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a part of the video. You know, we don't know. And it's like it's gotten so fucking crazy with just like this whole. I mean, we've been in like this digital age and this Instagram phase for what 10 years now. You know,
Yeah.
but it's gotten so crazy like over the last year or two. Like when it comes to like everything, people are just recording everything. Like there's no sense of privacy.
You
There's no
can't even beat a bitch ass in peace, girl, without being
right.
on our
That's
world
got
for the
50
next day.
bitches. And if you getting your ass beat, you can't even
It's a
depend on
wrap.
bitch on the crowd to help you.
Honey, that broccoli will be done. And then you ain't gonna have no choice but to PTO propel the others, bitch, because they finna rag you through these streets. You better win.
But as far as this album, I am excited about it. I was really hoping, and I think a lot of the fans were kind of wanting a Dangerously in Love type of R&B, especially since the girls have been talking about R&B is dead. Like it would have been really nice to get that type of hardcore R&B album. However, I'm a huge fan of house music. I've been listening to house music since I was a kid, and I love dance music. So I'm excited to hear this album because you know, it is what it is.
I'm excited for it too. I already can tell that it's going to be an acquired taste because it's dance music and people had the reaction they had toward Drake's album. So I know it's going to be an acquired taste, but it's Beyonce, so we're going to love it anyway. I just hope that even though it's dance, you still have the room to sing. Like I love this new cadence of Beyonce style singing that she's done, but give me the R&B vocals on a dance record. Kelly Rowland did it. Give me sing. Just sing. You're a singer. Give me songs, honey. I heard that this album is going to be very sample heavy. And I heard that it's like an hour long. Some of these songs are like over 4 minutes. I just want to ask y'all though, when y'all hear the word Renaissance, like we know that it's a dance album. We know there's going to be like pop elements, bounce elements. But when y'all hear the word Renaissance, what do you expect sonically to receive from this album?
Since I know that it's going to be 3 portions or 3 volumes, I guess we should call it. I'm thinking she's going to go through different decades and sample different.
That would be creatively genius.
That would be
that's kind of what I'm trying to express it verbally, but I think that would be dope if she just went through like maybe the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and kind of just did different music. But I heard there was a Tina Marie sample, and I don't think the girls live for Miss
All
Tina
type of
Marie.
samples. There's a Tina Marie sample. I hear Grace Jones is on the album. I hear the Clark sisters have a sample on this album.
See, we're talking 70s, 80s, and there's Donna Summer or something
Donna
too.
Summer has a sample on
70s,
this
80s.
album.
That's what I'm getting.
Also, a lot of like old, like vintage, like Paris is Burning gay shit. Like that honey and honey. Like it's a lot of like old gay authentic shit that she has like infused in this album, and I'm just like, what are you
very showgirls.
I'm here for it. I'm just excited to hear like what have you been sitting on for 3 years, Beyonce?
When I think about it, like y'all could be right. That would be genius, creative wise. Like I don't think anybody's actually done that, and who better to do it than someone who's an awesome performer.
Exactly.
I think we may end up getting a lot of visuals. She's known for giving us visuals to her albums any damn way. So to know that we're getting 3 volumes and it's going to be this lengthy thing, I think we can expect a lot of very artistic vibes. And I'm here for it. Renaissance to me represents, we're going through the flow of time, major errors that were impactful to the human experience. I don't think it's just going to be music that we're going to see that she's representing in these different eras. I think it's going to be visual pieces that immerse us in the entire experience that she's trying to deliver sonically. We're going to probably get a lot of saxophone, a lot of piano, child. We're going to get, some violins, girl. I think we're going to get very orchestra vibes at some point. I'm here for it. When I hear Renaissance, I just think of all of those things. Nice dressing, honey, hello God, serving us costume vibes. Hopefully her mother's not making them, child. But yes.
Baby, we used to call them bitch, that's a Tina Knowles original. That's what we used to say.
We used to say that too. Oh my God, we said that too.
That was like a running joke amongst my
like, if we didn't like an outfit, because some of those outfits were kind of cute, but if we didn't like an outfit, we would be like, oh, this must be House of Darion, because
especially in the Destiny's Child
I love
era.
you, Beyonce, and if you're gonna send me an Ivy Park PR package, please continue to send it. Do not stop the payment.
Girl, you was ghetto fish when you was wearing baby fat in
House of Darion. What the fuck were you even doing in City Trends anyway?
Okay, for real.
It does not work.
Okay, so are we through with this?
I think we're done. We're anticipating the album. Make sure you go out and get it. I got pose number 2 as far as the box. Did either of y'all get a box? My dumbass cousin. Oh, I'm sorry, Danielle. Ooh, I love you. But my cousin got all 4 boxes. Because he was just convinced, and I'm sorry to put you out there, cousin, but I just got to. He was just convinced that it was a different album in each box. So he bought all 4 of them. And come to find out, it's just a different pose on the t-shirt. And that's it. So you done bought 4 of the same exact thing. Like,
but he could sell them. He could definitely sell them
fuck out of that shit
and make a profit. So
the fuck out of it. But yeah, make sure y'all go get the album. Make sure y'all immerse yourself in this experience, because I honestly feel like, and I hate to say this, let me knock on wood, because hopefully it don't come true, but I feel like Beyonce has given us so much, because after this she gonna be done. This is not gonna be a Jay-Z retirement. I am done. I may do a residency later on in life, but I'm done. And rightfully so. She's given us a lot in the 20 plus years that she's been working. So it is what it is. But I don't know how y'all found out that we was coming back, Kitty Box fans, but somebody done sent me some kitty mail. And this was too good to pass up. So y'all get ready for this. So the kitty mail says, I definitely want to remain anonymous because I don't want the viewers to judge me. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm fucking my homegirl's dad. Long story short, this girl is somebody who is in my friend group, but I'm the least closest to. Anyway, she had a kickback and this fine ass man showed up. He looked a little bit older, but not old enough to be her father. So when we exchanged numbers and started hanging out, everything was cool. The next time the friend group got together, we all talked about the party and old dude came up. That's when I found out it was her dad. But by this time, we had been hanging for a good minute and I don't see a reason to stop. So should I tell her? Because I don't think I should, especially given the fact that we're not even that close and I'm just fucking her dad. It's nothing serious. By the way, her parents have never been married and he's single. So what do y'all think?
So first question is yeah, I'm about to ask that question. Yeah.
Is he a male?
This is a straight woman. This is a straight woman, straight man.
YB, go ahead.
You know, we all like to say, "Oh, I'm not even that close with that person anyway," right? But these people
Yeah.
invite you over to their home. You're clinging drinks together, girl. You're probably drunk. We're sisters in Christ on our For Color Girl shit, right? But then when you are doing something, that's you trying to justify you laying down with her father. Now, granted, is it anybody's business who you're doing? No. But if this person is considered a friend, then again, I don't know.
Look,
If,
I'll
if,
say
if,
I
if
agree
y'all
with
were,
what
I
you
get the
said
part
up until
about us
that
not
point.
being that cool.
I agree with what you said up until that point. If you're in my space, I don't care if
yeah,
you're a friend or not. If you're in my space and you're fucking my dad, that's something I should know.
She didn't know
Regardless
she
of
was
how you
fucking his dad's
view our
wife.
friendship.
yeah.
Would
So
you
when is
say?
the right time? Because she didn't know she was fucking her dad until it came up in conversation later on. So once they met up a
How do
second
you have that
At that
conversation
point.
though?
time, so in the friend group, oh girl, I'm fucking him.
No. I wouldn't do it in front of the group, but right after that conversation, when we all walking out to the car to go home, I'd be like, "Hey, girl, I didn't know that was your dad. I didn't want to bring it up in front of the group, but hey, like I've been hanging out with your dad. We messed around. You know, that's what I would give.
So what
I'm
would
not
you
gonna
do if
withhold
you?
it and
What
just
would
say,
you do
oh,
if
well,
you?
we ain't that. You know, we
What
ain't
would
that
you do
good of
if you planned
friends."
on continuing to see him and you told old girl your friend and she was like, "Oh, girl, you gotta. That's a wrap. That's my daddy. So no." And you still want to see him? Then what?
I wouldn't do it out of self-respect and.
I'm gonna take the YB route. I'm not saying nothing. If it's just sex,
Bitch, well,
I would
y'all
say,
both are letting me know what I could do around you hoes and who I could bring around. Because if y'all fuck my daddy and don't tell me, bitch, it's gonna be a
if you
motherfucking
don't introduce your daddy as your daddy and he look like fucking Morris Chestnut on you.
my
Tell me
daddy.
who.
Hold on, my daddy still gets carded. Like my daddy looks young and good.
Then you better tell me that's your daddy and he married. I wouldn't do that. I don't fuck
Bro,
with married men.
right. My
I
dad's.
don't fuck with married men.
I mean, I'm on the fence now. I mean, but at the same, I have to hold that's near and dear to like. You got to tell me that even if it's like just someone in my group. Period. Like, I would like to know, like my uncle, bitch, my
Yeah.
motherfucking daddy, bitch, my one of my friends. I would, like I think I would like to know, and out of respect, especially if you just found out, like I'm kind of like with Jason, I would pull her to the side after. Hey, girl, I didn't want to say this for everybody. I really did not know, but girl, the yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I liked what her father was serving and she was telling me that I had to leave him alone, I would probably tell her I left him alone, but still not leave him alone.
You know, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
But I
but
do
it
get what you're
depends
saying.
on how does he make me feel. And if it's just sex, then I probably can find someone else to do that for me. But if it's someone who
But
I actually do like that, I have to probably tell her,
Mama
like,
said
girl, I
it's
do
just
like your
sex.
daddy, and I don't think I could leave him alone like that. Like, it's
Mama
not,
said it's
you know
just
what I'm
sex.
saying? But you said that the homegirl said it was just sex. So,
Yeah. I don't think
and
it's
then
deeper than
also,
sex.
I was like, it's just sex. So you know, you could. That's somebody you can easily cut
you could
off.
replace.
For some people, it's the embarrassment of it all. For some people, the embarrassment may be too much to even say something.
This is obviously black people we're talking about because, black don't crack, baby.
But what
Period.
happened to integrity? I mean, your integrity and self-respect doesn't
But if
mean
you
more to you
already did it, though,
than
without
embarrassment.
knowing, and now you know, does that actually change the
Exactly.
fact that you did it?
You've already done it.
Well, if it happened, then it is what it is. I mean, you can't fault somebody for not knowing.
Right.
But after the fact, that's when the shit is like, okay, you a raggedy ass bitch.
But you can though. She could literally get mad at that girl and be like, "Fuck you, you fucked my dad," whether she knew or not. And that's the thing though. You don't know how this.
And then what if the dad didn't want his daughter to know that either, though? Like you're telling his business too. So where
And
does that line not get crossed to
exactly.
where you know what I'm saying? You're kind of putting him out there. If he wanted his
And you're
daughter
not
to
that close
know,
with
then
the
she'll know.
girl. You're not
Stop.
that close with the
No,
girl. So you don't know how
stop.
she's gonna react.
Because when the dad came to the function and you saw her homegirls, you knew that was a bitch that she knew, or that that your daughter knew.
And if that's the case, then if we're really, I'm not. Then again,
It ain't
there's
like he
levels
just
to
met
this,
her
but
randomly at
there's
a bar or
Yeah,
something.
he
but
met
there's
her
levels
at
to
his
this
daughter's
shit.
house.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying though, there's levels to this shit. Like what's the classification of their friendship? Besties, girl, you should have already known who my
No,
daddy. You should have already knew who my father was, because
no,
y'all
she
already
did.
met.
She did
How?
know,
What
and
kind
they
of
weren't
relationship are
close.
we talking about here, though? Do you know that much about the situation?
From what I don't know, but from what I understand, let's just say it's a group of 5 bitches. It's just like we only hang together because the group hangs together. Like I hang with Keisha, you hang with Lisa, and because Lisa and Keisha are friends, we all kind of coincide. They're not the cliques, so I'm pretty sure that's why she's apprehensive because she don't even know how to read this girl. She don't even know how this girl is going to respond. I don't fucking know you like that. You just in a friend group. I don't talk to you personally. We just party together. I was at the kickback because we party together. You was having a kickback. You invited the crew.
Just like unpacking all of this, I'm just realizing to myself, like, the horror in me wants to say all of these things, but as I'm growing as a person, hello God, I'm thinking I would just leave. Once I found out, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would just have left every one of those
Just left
bitches
it
alone.
alone. Yeah, just leave it alone.
Just like, girl, that's a lot of drama that could potentially happen. Those other 4 girls could jump you and beat your ass in the alleyway some way, girl, and no God, honey. Like,
and knowing this information now.
If you don't know, see, that's how you end that shit is by telling them. What, like I said,
want to tell somebody else's
if you
business,
continue to fuck him, then you look raggedy. But my integrity wouldn't let me do that to you, Kat. Like if I started messing with your dad.
But we are friends. We're not just distant friends through YB. We are friends.
Okay, if one of your homegirls or one of your homeboys, like we all met up in Houston or something, and it was a house party you took us to, and I started messing with some guy, and we're still hanging around, I would still be like, hey, although we're not really, but hey, I just want to let you know this. Like, I didn't know, it was what it was. Like, that's just me. But if I continue to fuck that person, that's when you start looking like a raggedy hoe in a group.
Oh, not a raggedy hoe. I can see the integrity factor, but I can also see if it's just a random kickback and it's like 20, 30 people in your house, how am I supposed to know that that's your fucking daddy? Like, what if that was just a random nigga?
And it's not serious. It's just a fuck. So that
shout out to the father, though. He must have some good pain. Hello, God.
Because she said she wanted to keep doing it. So
obviously he was putting
I'm side-eyeing her. Sorry.
That old hammer.
Sorry, girl, but
girl,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. One of us is.
I'm gonna say, it's just a lot of drama, girl. Leave that shit alone and call it a day.
Leave it alone, but girl, get you some, girl. Okay. But yeah, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Anybody
ain't nothing better than that daddy dick, though, child. Shout out to the fathers. Or they call them DILFs. Daddy, I'd like to fuck.
Yeah. Or just daddy. Hello. Daddy works too.
Oh, child. No.
Daddy works fine, honey.
Phone home, bitch. Yes.
Speaking of phone home, there's a song on Beyonce's album called Alien Superstar that I really want to listen to because I recently saw Nope. And so now I'm like into like the, my mind is revving with the UFO shit. So to hear that song, I'm just like, now I'm curious.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Even though I had to
this weird bitch over here.
Okay. No, stop it. Because you don't want me to go in on that bitch. This hoe made me watch fucking, I think it was like 18 or 20 fucking seasons of Ancient Aliens. Did you watch it? Did you catch up? Did you get to this part? What part did you get? I'm like, oh my God, I can't even lie and say I watched it because he quizzing me on the shit. But now I'm really into it. And you have to, if you haven't seen it, Jason, if you haven't seen it, y'all have to go see Nope because like we know it's an alien film, but the twist on like what it really is like, and this is why it's a Jordan Peele film. Any last thoughts, guys, before we close it out?
I enjoyed chatting with you guys as usual, and we will see you all next week.
We will see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.